What phone conversation are you referring to?
The one that was right after she got into the jail. Casey sounded so, I can't even explain it, hostile to you and your mom.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember when she did call, her emotions and exactly how that brief period of time that I talked to her was, and I remember the conversation was she did seem very, all I want is this phone number, and I wasn't interested in anything else. My understanding of why she felt that way was because she had saw a news report, and again, I don't remember exactly what was portrayed on the media at that juncture, but she saw a news report of my mother being interviewed, and my estimation would be she took from that we are not behind her. So naturally, you'd be pretty defensive on that.
Your sister today, did she give you any leads as to where Kaylee could be, who has her, if Kaylee is still alive?
Mm-hmm. She has, yes. I mean, she is still saying that, yes, Kaylee is alive, Kaylee is okay. Now, the information that she gave me personally, what I can speak to is exactly what I talked to her about. And the predominant amount of our phone call was about making sure that she was aware of her rights and aware of everything that she's able to do, because the contact has been very limited to and from her. So if she's not been able to contact myself or the police or, with her attorney at some time, all she has to go off of is what she knows in her mind going into it. And like my family said from the beginning, we're all very ignorant to this process. None of us have ever gone through anything like this, so when somebody's telling us what the legal things are and what our procedures are, we take that at face value and we try to follow that. When we are being misinformed of that information by an attorney or by the police department or by anybody else, it doesn't do us much good.
Have you fired your attorney?
Mr. Baez is still representing my sister.
Is she going to get out of jail tonight?
She can call home. She can call you guys on the phone. You just can't call her at the jail.
What I've been told now, and this is the first time that I've been able to speak with my sister since the 16th for that 30 seconds or so when she was upset. So, it was very nice, number one, to speak with her and just make sure that she's self-aware and that she knows what's going on and that everything is sunk in if it hadn't already. I have to answer this question, please. So, as it relates to a phone call, I've just been informed that she cannot make a phone call because she has to have money at her, in her possession, in her account, in order to make a phone call. This is what was conveyed to me. So, she does not have any funds in an account for her because we've never known that that's what she needs to do in order to reach out to us. So, we are in the process of getting that transfer done. Immediately once I go inside, that's going to be my task. So, it will facilitate her being able to reach out to us further.
Her demeanor today, she was obviously last week just recently jailed. She was a little agitated.
Oh, absolutely.
Does she still feel like the cops are trying to railroad her?
No, actually. My sister today gave me some information and says that I want to talk to, she mentioned a few people specifically at the Orange County Sheriff's Department. She said I'm willing to speak with the FBI. I was pretty much able to talk to my sister and say, all I know of what you are getting out there is what we're hearing from investigators or what we're hearing from your attorney. And I pretty much was able to verify with her, is this accurate? And on some things she said absolutely, and some things she was appalled. So I was able, and the majority of my communication with her was just saying, well, let me fill you in on exactly what we know, and let me, in a sense, hit you with some knowledge on exactly what you're able to do. And now Casey is more informed, and now she can start to clarify some of these things that have been dragging on about these web of lies and all these things. I mean, there are answers to every single one of these questions.
But Lee, in that phone call, she sounded more interested in getting her boyfriend's phone number than finding Kaylee.
I couldn't speak to my sister's mindset. I do know that was predominantly her first question. Absolutely.
But why?
Let me get a real quick follow-up here. And the phone
let me actually try to answer this one, because frankly, we're getting very tired to try to answer to my sister's mind frame and mindset, because you don't know what this person's thinking. They don't know what you're thinking. I mean, point blank. It's obvious. All I can speak for is my gut feeling, or just from my relationship with my sister on what she'd be saying. So when you're trying to reach out to someone, that's been somebody that she's had the most contact with for the past 30-something days, which of course would be a very stressful 30-something days when you're trying to find your daughter, as she's said. So naturally, the first person that you're going to reach out to is that same person, whether they had knowledge of the situation or not. I'm not implying that, but I'm saying she feels comfortable with talking to that person on some level. So naturally, especially if she feels, as it was being portrayed in the media, that she claims that she didn't trust or that nobody else was in her corner, the only person else that would be in her corner other than family at this time would probably have been a boyfriend. So naturally, it was no surprise to me that that's why she would have reached out in that manner. Right. I hope that answers your question.
When you were on the phone with her last Tuesday in that one phone call where she was upset after seeing it on the news.
With the 16th, was it Wednesday?
It was Tuesday or Wednesday night.
It was Wednesday night.
But she's trying to get the boyfriend's number from you, and you were saying,
from anybody.
I'm not going to go. You're like, I'm not going to go around and around with you here.
Pretty much.
You specifically said something to the effect of, look, you're not telling us where she is. You're not telling us everything you know, and I'm not going to play this game, or I'm not going to go round and around with you, especially after what you've been doing to Mom for the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Absolutely.
What was that? Was that not answering where Kaylee was? I mean, was the family aware that she was unaccounted for?
No, not at all. I'll clarify that specifically. Yeah. My knowledge on what had been transpiring over the last few weeks is that my mother and my sister, and even my father and my sister, had regular contact daily, sometimes even every couple hours. And specifically what I was talking to is every time that my mother talked to my sister, it was, "How's Kaylee?" "Oh, she's good." "Okay, where are you guys at? What's going on? We're here. We're doing this today. This is what I'm doing for work." Things like that. "Mom, when am I going to get to see you and Kaylee?" And it was always tonight, or I'll be there tomorrow, or I'll bring her home tomorrow. Every single day, it was the same answer. And my mom, of course, grows more frustrated, as you can imagine. However, she was told that every day. She never actually heard Kaylee's voice in the background, but when your daughter tells you everything's fine, this is what we're doing, and everything makes sense, because she said she was going to be taking some time away on vacation and things of that nature, and she's going to be working, and the babysitter will be, she will be with the babysitter and all that stuff. They're all very believable stories, right. Which of course is what we are now. As soon as that all went down, it was, well, that's what she was saying as a cover to not tip off the family that she's actually missing and she's looking for Kaylee.
Right. Any new leads that you got out of your sister today that police can work on, number one, and number two, do you know if Baez, your sister, and deputies met this afternoon?
Well, what I can speak to is, let me answer your first question as far as the tips and leads and things of that nature. I did try to ask my sister specifically, because I knew she hadn't had a voice to clarify the June 9th date that she had given originally, and which is obviously now June 16th, because we have the video of the 15th. So we obviously knew where Kaylee was on the 15th. But she just kind of vented her frustration of almost, what is it going to matter if they've been misconstruing and misrepresenting some of the things that I've been saying anyway? And we have found errors in the police report, whether they were just typos or things of that nature. So I know that it maybe wasn't scrubbed as thoroughly as it needed to be. Now I understand it did take a few hours to develop, and just with the nature of the story, something needed to get out there, but. Frankly, you guys will wait for the information if it's accurate, and that's what everybody needs to be concerned about, is make sure that everything is accurate, so it doesn't turn into something that, frankly is wrong and is throwing everybody off the real story, which is Kaylee's missing.
What did she say is inaccurate?
You did have a